Hello, everybody. Oh,
I was just gonna say it's advice for a girl about to graduate high school.
Oh.
Is like what?
Oh yeah.
We're answering.
Yeah. Hello. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Hello. So this week we actually got someone who wrote into us and was asking for advice for a girl who's about to graduate high school, which I think is perfect, and I think we're at a perfect point in our life to be giving advice about something like this.
Yeah, I feel like we're like
actually have perspective.
Yeah, we're not like too fresh out of it. I mean, we're definitely not fresh out.
Yeah, but like we're also not in college anymore.
We're
not in a place where like that's still like we actually have a good like view of it now to be like
like looking back on like, was this as big of a deal as I thought it was?
Yeah.
Or like, should I have done this different? Like X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, we have some good perspective.
Yeah. So I think we start with like the biggest one, like to go to college, to not go to college. I feel like that's like your biggest thing, like you're about to graduate.
Yeah.
Like high school, you're like, what should I be doing?
What's next?
Yeah, what's next? Like everyone wants me to go to college, but like truthfully, like if I could go back, I don't regret going to college right away, but I definitely think like they do this in Europe all the time, like they take a gap year of like going and figuring shit out and like deciding what they actually want to do before they go to school. And like I think I would have done that.
Yeah, most countries besides the US do some sort of like, if not gap year, like preparatory school to kind of do the same thing. It's like feel out what do you want to do, get a little bit more development on that frontal lobe for those decision-making skills. And then while you're doing that, working like a part-time job or something where it's like you're able to like save up some money. So that way, like by the time college happens or you graduate college, it's like you have some stuff, like a nice little nest egg kind of set aside. So I'm a huge proponent of college. I think education is so fucking important, especially in a world where it's like, depending on where you went to high school, the public education system sometimes isn't the greatest. And so I think that there's a big difference in people that you meet later in life who have kind of gone to college and, you know, what do they say, got more knowledge, and versus people who maybe haven't and haven't had that experience. So I'm huge proponent of educating yourself, but that can look so different. Like you said, like it could be a gap year, it could be going to a community college for 2 years and then going to a 4-year program, or it can look like going to a trade school and getting more knowledge or doing any, like, it doesn't have to be like I'm going to the state school that is in my hometown because that's what everybody's telling me to do. Yeah. It can look super different.
No, definitely. And I really do think that like it's important to get an education of any sort. The education is for sure super important, but I definitely think I would have loved to have taken the time to figure out what I actually liked to do and what I actually wanted to go to college for. Yeah. And like actually have picked a path that was more me than me appeasing people. Because I think it's super easy to leave like high school and go into college, and you're just going to college because like that's what your parents want for you, and like majority of parents want you to have
and that's the
some furthering education.
Even like schools tell you that's what you should do.
Right.
Because I think also it's, as somebody who in college who did that traditional route, like it is weird when you're 19 and there's like a 30-year-old in your class, or like or even somebody who's like 23 and they're just starting.
They're always the coolest people though.
You're kind of conditioned to be like, oh, you're kind of a failure for being late, but it's like it shouldn't be that way, because if anything, like they like chose something that they knew that they wanted to do because they like got to figure that shit out.
And to be honest, like school is a lot of money. Like a lot of money. And you're not thinking about it now, but for me, like I pay back my student loans every single month, and like it's a lot of money. Like it's upwards to $1,000 a month that I pay in student loans. So like being like financially smart about that going in, like that's a lot for somebody.
And that's just for an undergrad.
Yeah.
Like if you decide to go get your like master's or like further education after that, it just
doubles it. Like, so I would say too, like, I know it's a lot for a high schooler to be thinking about of like the financial aspect of it, but like, yeah, going to a community college for 2 years is not weird. And it's not like disappointing, and you're not like really not missing out on much, to be honest with you. Like college was fun. I had a very different college route than like most people. like I wasn't in a sorority. I did a sport. I ended up quitting. I ended up moving home with my parents. So like I have a very different like college like route, and I really don't think that I missed that all much. Like I still got the same education. I still got a great education, and I ended up working the whole time. If you're not doing a sport, work. Make money. Start paying your bills off now if you can. Like start like. That's not just like free money to go and do whatever. Like start paying your shit off, but then also go have fucking fun. Like go have fun. Go spend your money on shit you shouldn't spend your money on. Like you should be having fun.
Totally.
So it's like a double-edged sword there. But yeah, education and like the next step after college, like that's so scary, and that's all people ask you, and it's quite literally annoying. But I really feel like if you're not feeling college and you want to take some time to figure it out and you want to go to trade school, do it. If you're thinking that like, you know, you want to be a doctor and like you're set stone on it, like go find the best programs to be in. Like I don't like there's no real answer, but it's just like do what you truly want to do, because in a couple of years that's all you're going to want to do anyway.
Another thing I would say for like just overall advice of like graduating high school is like, I think it's kind of on what we've been talking about, but it's really easy to get swayed to do what your friends are doing, or to like go to a school that your friends are going to, or like stay with your boyfriend because he's local, but maybe you like don't really like him and don't see a future together, but it's like easy. And so I think, not that you can use it as an excuse, but literally like graduating high school is like a closing of your essential like not youth, but like what, adolescence. And you're becoming an adult, so like it's okay to like start becoming more selfish and taking more like decisions that are going to benefit you, and not necessarily like that herd mentality that like you have from high school. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but for me it was like my friends were going to the U of A, and like it was my local school, and I was like, I can definitely get in there and probably get a little bit of scholarship money, and like it's in state, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do. And like the guy I was dating in high school, I was like, I don't really love him, but it's fine, and he's going to school, like whatever. And I feel like that, obviously, like hindsight 2020, whatever, I could have done all these things different, but I do really think looking back, like I kind of stunted my growth as like my own self for like 2 years, because I kind of continued to follow the path of what other people were doing, instead of being like, I don't really care to do any of this.
No, literally. So my like boyfriend that I had all throughout high school, who's honestly a sweet angel, and like I hope he's doing well in life, but like he wanted to go to school in Florida, and like that's ultimately like why we broke up. Like it was kind of coming to an end anyway, but like him wanting to go to school in Florida, like I was staying in Pennsylvania, like just break up. Like don't do the long distance. I'm telling you right now, like
somebody's gonna get really hurt.
It seems like and it's probably gonna be you, no offense.
Yeah,
like
it is.
It seems like the best option. Like you love him. No, let him go. Let him go. I've actually seen a lot of people from high school, like from my high school, who dated all throughout high school. They both went to completely separate like states and different colleges, and they broke up for college, and they ended up getting back together. And now like most of them are actually getting married, which is like great.
Or it's like people that you went to high school with, but like you guys ended up in the same state somehow, and then met each other and started dating. So it's like you don't have to completely shut the chapter of your life, but like shit's gonna work out. So like don't think like, oh, because I'm breaking up with my high school boyfriend, like I'm never gonna see anybody ever again. It's like things are gonna happen.
And like you also want that, you want that freedom mentally, like to go out and have fun with your college friends, and like go, or your new friends, like as you're exiting high school, like you want to go do those things, and you don't want to have that like burden, also unfortunately, of that other person on you, or be like worried and concerned about what they are doing or where they're at, or like who they're with. And like
I think that's a great point, because relationships in high school go from like the easiest relationship you will have in your entire life, because you don't have to worry about finances, you don't have to worry about like your job, you don't have to worry about your school schedule, because you guys have the same schedule. You're in school the same amount of time. Maybe you have a part-time job after school, but if you don't, it's like, okay, you're hanging out at your parents' place. It's like whatever. The moment you graduate high school, relationships become real life. And so like you need to go and just experience them for like separate from the way that you experience in high school, because in reality it's just not going to be the same. So even if you stay together and you're in the same state and you go to the same school, it's still not going to be the relationship that you had in high school. And like you can always come back to that if shit works out, but like I feel like a lot of people stay together, like you said, it's easy, but like
it becomes a burden.
Like,
it becomes the biggest. It's not easy ever. No. And that even goes to like friendships and like outside of romantic relationships. Like I still have high school friends, but like I think the biggest thing for them is like if you're not going to the same school as them, like none of my high school friends went to the same school I went to. Mm-hmm. So like I have to understand they're going to make new friends and I'm also making new friends and they're no longer like we're not each other's priority anymore. But like I still love them and I still want the best for them in life. And like are they still friends of mine today? Yes. We all live in different states. And like when we go home for the holidays, we might see each other, we might not. I still root for you on Instagram, but like you also have to understand like you might keep one or two friends coming out of high school, but like it's okay to grow and evolve and meet new people and do more things outside of that friend group. And friendship breakups suck and they hurt, but like you are going to evolve so much as a person leaving high school that you might not even align with those friends anymore. So I think like, I know that you saw friends from high school. I saw friends from high school. My sister still does as well. Yeah. But like, are they in my every single day-to-day life now? No. Yeah. Because we just evolved.
Yeah, and also I saw a TikTok about this the other day. It was a Cody Co video, and he was talking about your childhood friends. Like the reason why like you don't keep a lot of your true childhood friends like after childhood is over is because the only reason that you were friends with them in the first place, and not to like diminish anybody's childhood friendships, but it's like because of proximity and like your parents were like friends, or like you lived down the street from one another and you like were in the same like
clubs or
gym
sports
class
and
like that's fine and that's totally valid way to make friends, but also like you weren't ever friends because of like things that you had in common, really.
Right. And meeting those friends is so fun,
and that's really when like you make friendships where you're like choosing to be friends. Yeah. And so that's another thing I will say, like in high school, like if you feel like you're part of this like really tight group or knit group of people and you're really scared to lose that, like that will happen outside of high school and even deeper ways. Like I see people all the time, it's like they meet their best friends in like their 30s. Or like even my mom, like her closest friends are people she met in her 40s, not people that she was friends with when she was a kid. So like don't think that those genuine true friendships end. They get so much deeper because like you guys are actively choosing to be friends.
Yeah, like do you learn as you get older is like just being a cheerleader for your friends and not having to actively be in their life. Yeah, and that's just growing up. Yeah, but
and you get to be actively in the people's lives who you meet and who are now in proximity to you. So it's like
right, like and that's always going to be evolving because of the people in proximity to you. So like whoever's in your day to day is going to be your closest people. Like when you get a new job, if people are your age, you're going to hang out with them all the time. You're going to do all the things with them. And then when you get a new job, why don't you talk to so-and-so anymore? Because you just don't have that commonality. Like, it's just always a thing. So don't be upset if your friends move on and they get new friends. Like, they still love you.
Yeah, it's not you.
It's not you. It's just life. It's evolving.
Works. Yeah. The last thing I'll say, just some, like, overall advice is, like, shit isn't that serious.
Yeah.
And it feels like it a lot of times. Like I remember like when I was 18 and like, I don't know, I was going through some shit and like, I thought the world was ending and it really doesn't. And the world is going to feel like it's ending when you're 21 and the world's going to feel like it's ending when you're 23 and then you turn 25 and you really feel like shit's over. And then you turn 26 and you're like, wow, my frontal lobe was fully developed and like, I know how to respect myself and I care about X, Y, and Z things now. And like one thing that I really regret, I think as a teenager especially, is the way that I treated my family or like my parents. And I wasn't bad, but like I would say some shit, some little snipey shit, and you just don't understand what I'm going through. And like it's like they do. Everybody does. We were all 18. Like they were 18 at one point. They were in college. They were in high school, they had to like move on from their friends, or they couldn't do this because they couldn't afford to do that. And it's like sometimes life fucking sucks, but it doesn't end when you graduate high school. It moves on and it becomes better. And it will be worse, but it will also always get better.
Yeah, you're gonna cry a lot.
Like
you're gonna have a lot of meltdowns.
Yeah.
Like getting like honestly, if you're going into your senior year or like you're in like going into now like the end of your senior year.
Yeah, it's like you're finishing your last semester after Christmas break.
Right, like you're about to be in that and like this is the most fun time of high school you're gonna have. Like, in this last chunk of the year.
Nothing matters. At this point, your grades are locked in. Honestly, you're not going to change shit by, like, really trying hard this last semester.
No, literally, like, this next part of the year is, like, prom and, like, all the fun things. Homecoming, that's already happened, right?
Yeah.
I guess, I literally forget. But, like, if you're doing a sport, like, your spring sports are the most fun. Because, like, it starts to get warm out again, and, like, everyone's, like, excited, and then you have graduation, you have all the graduation parties, and now if you're going to college, you're, like, packing for that. Like, this is the most fun. Enjoy it. Like, the drama that you're around, it's literally only around you in this present moment.
Yeah.
And literally, I'm not even joking, in a week from now, no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
In a month from now, no one's gonna care. And then when you're our age, you're not even remember.
Yeah, or you will remember and be like, oh my god.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and it was never that deep.
Yeah, like, just have fun in your last couple months of high school. Like, seriously, have the best time.
You will never have an easier time in your entire life.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, responsibility and carefreeness than this last semester.
Yeah, because even when you're in your last semester of college, it's like real world sets in, and it's actually terrifying.
Jobs,
it's terrifying. This is a whole other, like,
my roommates
situation.
are like all have jobs, and I'm the only one that's like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever. So yeah, if you decide to go to college, have fun. If you decide to take a year off and travel the world or whatever the fuck, like, that's cool too. But
literally be true to yourself. I literally feel like be true to yourself and know that, like, life is not ending and it's only evolving into something better, and
you're just now entering, like, actual adulthood. So, like, anything, it's like your life is just starting.
You have the choices to make your life absolutely incredible and absolutely amazing by choosing you and choosing your passions, or you have the choice to follow the rest. And eventually you're going to figure out following the rest is not fun.
Yeah, but it's okay to do that for a while too.
But maybe don't be, this is our actual advice. Don't be like us and decide to do it when you're 25.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, actually, I want to be me.
Yeah. But also, if that happens, everybody else does it. That's the thing. Like, it's okay.
Being basic is fun. Being basic just means you like everything everybody else does. Getting Starbucks is fun. Like, go, if that's what helps you study,
go to
do
the
it.
local coffee shops right
Go
now.
to a local coffee shop. But I'm just saying, like, everybody does it. Like, don't feel bad for following trends. Do it. Go to the music festival. Go traveling. Honestly, if you're in college, study abroad. I talk about it all the time. I fucking loved it. I'm definitely a study abroad kid.
The cheapest time ever.
I am that study abroad kid who's like, it changed my life. It literally does. Like, it's so much fun. Go do all the things. Don't be afraid to go do all the things. Join clubs. Be a part of your community. Like,
also fuck up. Like, this is
fuck
the
up,
only
like,
time in life that you can, like, I don't know, like, take a class where you're like.
And we're not saying, like, fuck up isn't getting, like, arrested and being crazy.
I'm
like,
thinking, like, oh, maybe I want to take this class about, like, X, Y, and Z, or, like, maybe I want to take a gap year and, like, go mountain climbing. It's like,
do it. Go have fun. Literally, because life will never be as unserious as it is in the next couple of years.
It will still be fun, and you'll still do a bunch of fun shit, but the responsibility level...
It just gets tacked on every year you get older. So, anyway, we'll see you guys on Friday for the video version of the podcast. Okay, bye.
Bye.